Collaboration. So why rugs? It was quite an interesting story. There was a time when I was working together with the head of the Tapis Rouge company, Yaroslav Melechov, working on a book on rugs with some minor participation by me. There were other professional co-authors. And we had this conversation where he asked what rugs from the company portfolio I would choose, and seeing my confusion and my feeling awkward and not being able to answer anything specific, suddenly Yaroslav said, Mike, maybe you need to come up with the rugs that you would want to use in your project. And that was a bit like a joke, and that's how I saw it. And sometime later, suddenly we got back to it, and once I understood that it was more of a proposal, and I saw it as an opportunity for self-expression. So it turns out that the collection is based on an incident, on a proposal, a happy coincidence and a happy match in perhaps our quite bold views, without the snobbery and perhaps predictability, without the fear. So we're learning from the Western experience, and that's how it was at the start of your collaboration with the Tapis Rouge Atelier company. Philosophy. So why stairs? To me, there is symbolism, philosophy to it. It's a reflection of either cultural strata or a culture of an architect that erected a certain building. And if we were to talk about the aesthetics of it, it's one of the elements that, in my opinion, perfectly combines architecture and decor, so to say. It's very well stated with the stairs. I like this name because from the very start it already provides a certain elevated feeling to it. Because it's associated with art, with something beautiful, I wanted to elevate this theme so it doesn't seem utilitarian. I think it's a symbol of movement, it's a reflection of our life's path, our ups and downs, our steps. And actually this very notion of step, descent, ascent movement, it's life as it is, and it is deeply symbolic in my opinion. For all of the 25 years that I've known you, I have always considered you to be an ardent modernist. Whilst looking at this collection, there's quite an obvious mix of traditions, historism and modernism. Those rugs are completely appropriate in any interior, from classical to completely contemporary modernist. Is it an accidental effect, or was it part of the original intention? That's a good question. It's interesting that you've noticed these lines depicting stairs in contours and very fine and clear line. It seemed to me that in many ways, as design solution goes, the theme is quite minimalist, concise. There is no rich detail, there are no naturalistic images. It's all a certain fantasy on the theme. But as a result, once the designs started coming out, done together with Tapis Rouge in applying complex color gradients, the rugs became, in a way, transitional, that took a place somewhere in the middle between some sort of a historical feeling of a work of design or art and contemporary, because they're completely contemporary in spirit, but the quality is very traditional. It's centuries old. It hasn't changed in any ways, and the way it's done now, that's the way it was always done. So it's handmade, it's silk and wool, it's the highest quality materials, silk and wool. This pattern, it's a pixel pattern. It doesn't quite have this classical washed out pattern. It's done in pixels. It has a contemporary feeling to it, but it's interweaved with the tradition. And that was my idea, because if we do establish the Italian theme, we need to pay homage to the wealth of culture, and culture is manifested in quality and presentation. And the Pompeii, the Rothko paintings, those complex colors, the frescoes, why are we here? These walls here are good for frescoes. Here it's a ruin at the Museum of Architecture. Yes, those are complete loft elements. So it's a historism together with the industrial design. The collection is completely universal. Art Deco, for instance, takes no interventions. I can easily imagine this rug in Art Deco environment, in fusion environment, in Eastern, in the old world European, and in contemporary interior, and even in a minimalist interior with very bold, minimalist, and maybe even avant-garde furniture. Colors. Initially, where they give the colors, I was inspired by Rothko's paintings, by Pompeii frescoes. I just understand why these colors attracted me so much, because in either case, with frescoes, layers would just get superimposed historically. And Rothko would use 10, 12 layers of different paints. Yes, and he was a famous colorist. He was working with color. And that's the very reason why his works are so fascinating. They may seem very simple to some. Sometimes there is deceptive simplicity to things. A design can be deceptively simple until you get closer to it and actually touch it. Composition. I just wanted to ask about the functionality of it. Well, first of all, because of those rounded lines, a certain center with a rounded shape, if we place here a magazine table, or maybe even some sort of an oval or a round dinner table, it's not going to spoil the rug, especially if it's a glass table of some sort. It has all of the axes, it follows certain golden mean principles. Even if you place some sort of a solid object here, I don't know, like a wooden table, you'd still be able to understand what's on the rug. So they're not that detailed, they don't have any strange nervous asymmetry. So they're not that easily visually destroyed. The one rug I wouldn't want to place anything over is Milano, and it's even made slightly smaller so it can be placed freely. In the interior, for instance, Rome is just a fantasy on the Roman stairs and obelisks. It's made for a room with a centerpiece, for example, a dining room with a dining table or something else. Well, sometimes there are just some rooms with more somber setting where the center needs to be available. So we're in Naples, this is Milano. Oh, I very much like Naples, but it really looks most fantasy, like this pattern. Once you see the central stair, yeah, it's also a reflection of a certain worldview, because you ascend and at the same time maybe you descend or you ascend more. You know, there is also this effect, you kind of want to pull your shoulders back and walk up the steps of these stairs and feel at least like a signora, if not a lady. Quality of life. Now I'd like to move on to the topic of quality. Regarding quality, well, first of all, the pattern is quite subtle and sophisticated. Since it's all handmade, it's done in Nepal, and it's a completely traditional handmade craft. Generally, it's quite labor-intensive. And the quality here, the material quality is 150 knots per inch. That's very high level of quality. There's lots of silk, more than 50%. Because oftentimes, when you have rugs where they say that they're made from silk and wool, there's actually very little silk. And sometimes they do this trick where they would just do a small pattern with silk and everything else is wool. So the overall feeling from the rug is quite crude. And here it's comfortable and pleasant. And they are not only attractive, well, as I hope, but they're also durable, and they completely follow the objective that they should serve, which is improve the quality of life of the person who uses it. I would also like to add for myself that good design doesn't only improve the quality of life, it improves the mood, and that may be even more important. Yes, endorphins. Yes, actually beautiful things in the interior, what do you need them for? It's not to demonstrate your wealth and well-being, it's in order to improve your mood on a daily basis. And then unfortunately there are those completely obvious things like laminate flooring. It looks like hardwood flooring, it costs cheaper, but when you walk on it barefoot, it's cold and artificial, and the hardwood floors warm and organic. Even if the person that doesn't know anything about rugs and doesn't know all the subtleties will see the difference for sure. He'll feel the difference for sure. He will not be able to explain it, but he will feel it because it has completely different energy, and the mix of colors is carried out in completely different ways. Each rug has up to 42 colors. I mean, we look at it and say that they seem toned down, but it's up to 42 colors each because they have complex color gradient. They have these, like you can see it well in the Milano rug and the violet one. Abrash. That's when the color is somewhat shifted in a certain area of the rug, and we did it on purpose. We wanted to emphasize the tradition of the craft. You can even see it here. You can see the change from the saturated yellow and brown into more of a toned down hue. You need to understand that every knot that's done by a worker, they have to run the thread through manually. In order to create this pattern, they need to change the thread, to put another thread in, cut it again. That really does take a lot of work. Some people may laugh and say, but why do you need that? But there are connoisseurs of expensive objects, not because it's a matter of status or some manifestation of wealth, just because it's a different quality of life. It's a different sense of self in the here and now. The environment is very important. People change from it. It would seem that people would create an environment in the house, but what it ends up with is them finding themselves in a different object environment, which leads to a different cultural environment. I'm very much looking forward to seeing growth of interest in object design in Russia in general, because we learn how to appreciate things, beauty, traditions, innovation, and the handcrafts, and our participation in it, and actually the life of a human being. Those are all completely interconnected things, and the sort of environment you live in is one of the things that determines the kind of a person you are. Innovation. Was there anything similar done in the history of your company? There wasn't anything similar done in nature. That's the most valuable thing that we've done here, because we've been working with rugs for quite some time, and over the past 20, 30 years there has been a metamorphosis where the classical carpets are on the way out just due to external factors, changes in fashion, but in a deeper sense, in the changes in the meaning of life. Over the past 30 years, the rug has been changing, and what's been happening to it is that the classical rug somehow got adapted. First it was larger adornments, and they started erasing the adornments to some degree. There are some beautiful works, but they're thematic pieces. What we've done now, by a complete accident to ourselves, is a category that has very contemporary foundation of a color accent. I would say a washed out pixel pattern. So when we sent it in for production, the ready results, the first thing we've heard from the production was, guys, what are you doing? This can't be made. Yes, it's simple when it really isn't, and it gives it a life, it creates interest, it gives it the fact that when you're dealing with a good rug, it's infinite. The most valuable thing is that, surprisingly to ourselves, we managed to combine modern aesthetics with very clear and complete form, which provides the rug with one of its main functions, which is organizing the space around it, and a meaning when a rug has a philosophy. So all of that in the space between a classical rug and a contemporary rug, for what I know, hasn't been done. So it's innovation. Yes, and it's certain, well, we also strive for a contemporary feel, and it's completely contemporary, yet it has something that any serious piece should have. It should always have a meaning, and it is present here, and that is the biggest value.